that it isn't wrong.
Rupert Goodwins, thank you very much. If you fancy a bit of digital wheeling and dealing, then make a date for our next programme, which looks at copyright and the internet. Only you can decide whether your future will be multimedia.
A pack of computer discs providing hands-on experience of many aspects of multimedia is available by sending a cheque or postal order for £10.99 made payable to BBC Education to this multimedia business, P.O. Box 7, London W5 2GQ, and further details can be found on CFAX, page 624.
Tomorrow on Panorama, running on empty, this is the last of the summer water. And this is the biggest peacetime tanker operation this country has ever seen.
I can't believe this is 1995 and we're without water.
Record profits with a service now under strain.
It makes you feel as though you're a third world country.
So who's responsible for the crisis over Yorkshire's water? Panorama reports tomorrow 9:30 on BBC1.
And now on BBC1, before you pick up the papers, take breakfast with Frost.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Frost. Well, the word historic was on everyone's lips this week as President Clinton's made his triumphant tour of Northern Ireland and then of Ireland. Today we're bringing together two leading figures from different sides to discuss the difficult task of how to keep that good feeling going. John Hume of the SDLP and David Trimble, the Ulster Unionist leader, will be with us later. One man who knows all about historic breakthroughs is Archbishop Desmond Tutu. We'll be asking him about his new job as head of the South African Truth Commission, which has the painful task of investigating crimes committed under apartheid. And I'll also be talking to two men who hope to make historic reforms of the welfare state. Social Security Secretary Peter Lilly is here, and so is Labour shadow Chris Smith. They'll be talking about what revolutionary plans they have for our pensions, our benefits, and thus our lives. And we'll also have the Liberal Democrats, Charles Kennedy here, and Anne Applebaum from The Spectator, all here this morning in a packed show. But first of all, a news summary. And at the news desk this morning is Chris Lowe. Good morning, Christopher.
Morning, David. Good morning, everyone. President Clinton, who's in Madrid on the final leg of his European tour, will today sign a cooperation agreement between the United States and the European Union. He'll also be discussing the deployment of the NATO peacekeeping force in Bosnia.
Arriving for dinner with King Juan Carlos of Spain last night, President Clinton looked relaxed after diplomatic victories in Ireland and on the subject of Bosnia. Today he'll sign a transatlantic agreement which aims to revitalise relations between the United States and the European Union. It'll cover everything from trade to the promotion of democracy and the fight against crime and disease. Mr. Clinton arrived in Madrid from southern Germany, where he met American troops bound for Bosnia. Today he's expected to ask his European partners to pay at least a third of the cost of the Bosnian peacekeeping operation, with the US paying a fifth. The French Defence Minister has announced that France will send 10,000 troops to Bosnia to join the 60,000-strong multinational peacekeeping force. Jane Waugh, BBC News.
The Princess of Wales has met Buckingham Palace officials to discuss her future role within the monarchy following her Panorama interview. The talks involved senior figures from the royal household and took place shortly after she returned from her visit to Argentina. Officials said the talks were perfectly amicable and further meetings are likely. Also this morning, in an interview with the News of the World, the Princess has described how she makes secret hospital visits. She's told that newspaper that she spends up to 4 hours a day with patients, some of them terminally ill. Detectives in London say a 31-year-old man has been arrested in connection with the murder of Rachel Nickel on Wimbledon Common in 1992. Scotland Yard says the man went to a police station voluntarily 11 days ago. He was questioned and released on bail to return at a future date. The man has not been named. A former president of South Korea has been arrested on charges of planning a coup in 1979. Chun Do-hwan was escorted from his home after ignoring a summons from state prosecutors. More than 1,000 plainclothes policemen accompanied the arresting, and the charges also relate to the deaths of at least 200 people involved in civil unrest in 1980. France's industry minister has warned of catastrophic consequences if